Does this look familiar? You step up to a chip shot just to the side of the green and you chunk it, when you just wanted to see the ball just pop up off your club face, land nice and soft and go really close to the pin. It has to be one of the most frustrating shots in golf, but in today's video I'm going to help you stop chunking it and start puring it. Duff chip shots are usually caused by one of three things: a poor setup, overactive hands, or poor understanding of your weight transfer, which leads to a really poor understanding of the low point. You may look at this shot and just think, Andy, that's super simple. To be honest with you, I'd probably putt it. And if I'm being honest, if I was in a tournament, I might put this specific shot myself. But we're on a practice green here at the Tommy Fleetwood Academy in Dubai. I've got 3 flags there. If I was chipping to all 3, what I'm about to teach you now will be relevant to all 3 of those chip shots as well. So first of all, we're going to talk all about the setup position. Now, once I put my club in behind the ball, I've got to make sure that the leading edge there is pointing straight to my target. So in this case, we're going to assume that it's a flat green and there's going to be no real break once the ball actually lands. Then we're going to take a really narrow stance. So I'm actually going to use a maximum, I'm going to use my club head, I'm going to get a maximum of 2 club head widths wide. I'm also going to get you to open up this left foot. So imagine it's pointing at 12 on the clock face, we're going to open it to 10 o'clock. And we're going to get the right foot and we're going to just turn it to 11 o'clock. What this is doing now is it's opening up the hips to the golf ball as well. So everything is left side of the ball. As a result of doing that, it's going to be a lot easier to get the body weight forward onto the left side. So we're going to try and get around 70% of your body weight into that left foot. Now, as we come into that setup position and moving the body weight and moving the feet, we're going to stand a lot closer to a golf shot than you normally would do. All these adjustments are going to help you understand the low point better. They're going to help you give that descending blow into the golf ball. Hitting down on the ball helps you increase spin. Spin will give you a bit more stopping power. So I'm going to take a decent posture and stand I'm going to be a bit more on top of the ball. I've got my width of stance. I've got both feet pointing, right foot to 11 o'clock, left foot to 10 o'clock. I'm going to put the ball position here just back of centre, so it's going to be slightly more favouring my right foot, and I'm going to have my hands on the inside of my lead thigh. So what you're going to see now is a little bit of shaft lean past the golf ball. I'm still going to be using the bounce of the club, so I don't want to use this leading edge. I'm going to use the bounce of the club, and I've actually got a 58 degree here, and I'm not expecting this to come out high. I'm not expecting it to come out high because I've got the ball position back, I've got the shaft forward, and I'm also not hitting it very hard. The slower you hit a golf shot, the less spin you'll create, the less height you'll create. So if I hit this swing now super soft, that ball's not gone out very high at all. Oh, what it did do though is nearly go in the hole. And for the purpose of proving my point, I'm actually going to do the exact same setup and I'm going to hit this next one harder. And what you notice is the ball's gone really, really high. The difference there was an increased angle of attack and increased speed. So don't expect these shots here to go very high. And the reason I say that, don't try and force the ball in the air, which brings me on to my next tip in regards to weight distribution and use of the hands. Now on this particular shot, I've actually thinned it, but it could have been a fat shot, very simple. I could have released it a little bit earlier into the ground and we'd have caught it fat. I could have actually made no contact with the ground at all and hit the top of the ball, or on the very odd occasion, I may have slid the golf club underneath that ball perfectly and just popped it up into the air, and it would have made me look like an absolute world beater. But I'm afraid that is unrealistic and it's not going to happen every single time. We want a technique that's going to work more often than not. So we're going to make sure here, as we take this club away, one little adjustment I want you to make on this setup. I mentioned before about getting closer to the ball, and we're going to talk about that more about that now. We're going to get the shaft of the club and we're just going to work it upwards a little bit. And what I'm doing here now, I'm taking the heel out of the ground, okay? So I've got the toe of the club into the ground and the heel out of the ground, and in doing so I'm gonna have to get closer to the ball. But in doing so now, what it's actually made my wrist do, I would normally set my wrist positions like this where there's an angle, but what this is doing now by steepening is pushing my wrists outwards, and it's creating less hinging action. Creating less hinging action will just lead me to be a little bit quieter in my hands, meaning I have to use more of my body to advance this ball. So I'm a lot closer, I've got the heel off the ground, I've got my setup, I've got my feet positioned, I've got my weight positioned, I've got the ball position back. I'm just going to rock the shoulders, beautiful little strike, and another miss. And I'm pretty sure I'd hold that putt though. Even with my putting stats, I will hold that next shot. Notice how I'm able to stay balanced and in control throughout the whole swing. You know the body weight's on the left hand side. You know my hands are kind of locked into a little position because of the adjustment I've made to the shaft of the club. I'm just rocking my shoulders back and through. I'm turning my shoulders, I'm turning my rib cage, I'm keeping the weight on my left side, but I'm still turning my hips as well. So everything in my whole body is working together as one. I'm trying to make sure that the hands stay ahead of the golf ball at impact, so we've got that shaft lean, and as we do so, I'm turning my body through, so I'm keeping my hands in front of my body as well as I come through the shot, and I've kept the loft on the face, but I've also kept the heel out of the ground. Sometimes digging that heel into the ground can encourage the face to flip over, and you can really catch it super fat as well. So taking the heel out of play is a fantastic way of also helping you to stop duffing that chip shot. A really simple drill I want you to try and do, it's basically want you just to make a little divot in the ground there, very small, just with the toe of the club, and I want you to put your golf club behind that, so to the right side of it. I'm going to take that set up, and we're just going to move the body through, and I'm just going to make sure that I'm just brushing that area of grass that I've just created. And what this is doing, it's just brought to the fore exactly what point of the grass you're actually aiming at, and it's also brought to the fore how you can work your body to make sure that that is always going to be your low point. You're keeping that as your low point as you go back and through. To help you better understand weight distribution, you're able to do this drill. Take the right foot, withdraw it behind the left foot and just put it on your toes. What you're going to notice now is all of your weight is on your left side. Now for the shot we're looking at around 70-30. For the drill we're basically at probably 80 or 90% on that left side. And you're now noticing that you're just going to rotate and pivot around this left hip and left leg. As your body rotates, your hips rotate, you've got the hands locked into position with the toe of with the heel slightly off the ground and the hands ever so slightly forward, and you could hit some shots like this. I actually know a good friend of mine, Gaz's golf, he actually plays and chips like that. It's a great way for you to not forget about the weight distribution. Just start there on the left side, weight forward, hands are forward, back, through. It's almost, oh, I've hit the flag again. It's almost faultless. Specifically, these two drills are going to help you build muscle memory and therefore the confidence to execute these shots every single time. To recap on that, keep your weight forward, narrow the stance, get your hands ahead of the golf ball, lift the heel out of the ground and make a really good body turn using your shoulders and your hips together. Do those two drills. Use a little divot on the ground to understand your low point. Also get that right foot withdrawn to understand where your weight distribution is, and I guarantee after this video and after some practice your chipping will change forever. It's true, it will. Guys, thank you so much for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, please do hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you next time.